For my journey, I will be going to Canton, Ohio to see the NFL Hall of Fame Football Museum. To see things where I could lift my spirits to work and try to be there one day was been always my goal. Day 1, October 30th. I drive around Fargo looking for a vehicle that I could rent to drive for my journey. I end up finding a 2019 blue Silverado pickup at Gateway Chevrolet in Fargo. I would pay around $50 a day for me, and my trip totaling it'll cost me about $1,050. Day 2, October 31st, Halloween. I would begin my 1,036-mile trip to Canton, Ohio. I would stop in Albertville on my first day and go to the Nike and Under Armour store in the Albertville Outlet Mall. I would then go to the Timberwolves versus Utah Jazz basketball game in Minneapolis. The ticket that I got is $165. I will eat concession food there, which will be about a total of $15. I will stay in a Minneapolis hotel for about $104 a night, which I only stay with one night. Day 3, November 1st. I will spend some time in Minneapolis just simply looking around the city. I decided to tour US Bank Stadium, where the Vikings play, at around noon for $19. After the tour, I was hungry, and I decided to go eat lunch at Hooters, where we used to have that here in Fargo, and I missed it, so I decided to go eat there. I ended up spending about $16 there for lunch. Then I decided to stay another night at the same hotel for $104. Day 4, November 2nd. I fill up gas in Minneapolis before I head back on the road for $65 to fill the tank up. I figured I would fill up gas about 8 times on my journey. Then I get back on the road and I decide I'm going to head over to Madison, Wisconsin. And I decide to find a hotel for $85 a night, and I decide to spend Friday and Saturday night there. I relax in my hotel for the rest of the day. Day 5, November 3rd. It's Saturday, and it's college football game day. And I decided to go to the Wisconsin versus Rutgers football game for $25 I found a ticket for. After the game, I decided to go to the good old Buffalo Wild Wings for supper. Probably one of my favorite restaurants. I end up spending about $22 there for myself for supper. Day 6, November 4th. I woke up early hoping to get to Chicago by noon. I wanted to go to the Chicago Bears game. I made it, and I got a ticket for myself. It was Bears versus Bills for $50. Instead of staying in Chicago, I decided to drive down to Nashville that night. I arrived in Nashville at around 10:30 that night, and I decided to stay 4 nights for $74 a night. Day 7, November 5th. I get up and go to the Country Music Hall of Fame because I love country music. It's $25 entry fee, and I also went to the Science Center Simulator, which is a spacecraft NASA type museum, for about $20. That night I end up eating at a restaurant that I saw that was pretty good, 5 Points Pizza, for about $16. Day 8, November 6th. This is the day for me to just relax. I just wanted to try to catch up on some sleep in my hotel room and rest up for the next few days, which are big days. Day 9, November 7th. I decided to go tour the Tennessee Titans Stadium for $18. I go to Subway to get a sub after the fact for $10. To finish out the day, I decided I wanted to go golfing. I haven't golfed in a while, so I decided to golf. And it was about $35 for me. Day 10, November 8th. I slept till about 11:30 in the morning. I decided I wanted to go to the Nashville Predators hockey game that night. I found a ticket for $60. Before the game, I tailgated with local fans before the game, and man, do they put up a good show for that. I found some good food while I was tailgating from some nice people, and it was really good, I say so myself. Day 11, November 9th. I wake up and drive to Louisville, Kentucky to see the Louisville Slugger Museum. I got in for $10. I ate at the Cracker Barrel. I always wanted to eat there, and I got a meal for about $20. I drive to Morgantown, West Virginia. I arrived about 7:30 p.m. and I got a cheap hotel for $52 a night, and I decided to stay 2 nights. Day 12, November 10th. I get up at 7:30 to go tailgating for the West Virginia football game. I just thought I was going to go there just to walk around and see all the West Virginia fans, because I heard West Virginia tailgating is one of the best in the country. While I was there, I got some good food once again for tailgating, and I also, when I was walking around, some guy gave me a free ticket just to get into the game. I thought it was a scam, but I was wrong. I got into the game, and they were playing TCU, Texas Christian University. I ended up staying another night in West Virginia. Day 13, November 11th. I wake up and I drove to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a Sunday, and I was planning on going to the Pittsburgh Steelers game until I looked at the schedule. They played that Thursday before. Shocks. Instead, I go and tour the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium for $23. After that, I drove to Canton, Ohio, where my destination was. I arrived pretty late and get a hotel for 4 nights for $110 a night. Kind of close. It was close to the Hall of Fame where I was planning on going. Day 14. It's finally the day where my journey took me. Where what this whole thing is all about. It's to see the NFL Hall of Fame museum. It's $25. It's a $25 ticket to see everything in the museum, and it's $10 to park. I spent all day at this place, and guess what happened when I was there? My all-time favorite player, Brett Favre, was there, surprisingly, and gave me some words to live by. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. That hit me pretty good, and it's made me think where if you can, whatever you plan on doing in your life, you can accomplish it as long as you plan to look forward and work for it, and anything will happen. Day 15, November 13th. I decided to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers game against the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jordan was in attendance because he owns Charlotte. I didn't get a pic with him, but I got a good picture of him while he was sitting on the bench. That night, I headed back to Canton, Ohio. Day 16, November 14th. I woke up and drove to Akron. Akron, Ohio is where my uncle Rob lives, who moved away from here about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I haven't seen him much since he's moved. So I decided I could just drive to his house, and I visited him, and we just sat there and talked all day to catch up and just hung out. Day 17. Today will be just another day to relax and catch up on some sleep, lay in my room, and watch TV. Day 18, November 16th. I decided to drive to New York. It's a 7-hour drive from where I was in Canton, and I arrived and I decided to go to eat at the General Olive Garden, which is a 3-story building in New York. I ended up spending $28. Yeah, that's a lot for one person. I eat a lot. I spent 3 nights in New York for a total of $101 a night. Day 19, November 17th. I went to visit Central Park. I also went to the Empire State Building, and wow, that was high up. I walked down Times Square, and I ate at McDonald's, General American food, for about $12. Day 20, November 18th. I relaxed in my hotel till about 6 o'clock at night. Then I decided I wanted to go to the New York Knicks game at Madison Square Garden, where they were playing Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. I ended up spending $223 a ticket because I wanted to get good seats for this game because it was one of my last nights on this journey. And it was in Madison Square Garden in New York. Day 21, November 19th. Well, that takes us to the end of this trip. I realized I'm much more of a traveler than I thought I was going to be. I enjoyed seeing a lot of sports venues and games, but I mean, that's kind of what my whole trip was about. And I saw myself with all this driving that I did, that I saw that I can really do anything that I set my mind to, even if it's a rough time by myself through all the long hours of just driving straight on interstates, highways. I can do it. So with all the money I had left over, I decided to fly back to Fargo for $395. To conclude, I spent about $4,000 on this trip. So I had an extra $4,000 left over with my budget of $8,000. And for this rest of this money, I thought it'd be a good idea to donate the rest of this money to the Sanford Children's Hospital because them kids have been through a lot in their lives, and I feel like that would be the best idea with all this money I had left over. Thanks.